Yeah, exactly. And good morning. I am back. I apologize for that. I don't know what happened exactly. It wasn't my fault, but it wasn't. I don't know. It's We'll blame it on technology. Is what we'll blame that one on. But anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's one of those mornings. Again, it's one of those days we'll have to really pay attention to the weather today. We've got a flash flood watch that is in effect. We could have some heavy downpours. There's no doubt about that. Especially if we see any sunshine today, I think that we definitely can. So current temperature out there right now is 77 degrees. By the way, send me your comments and we'll go through them. Record high 102. We have not hit a record high, by the way, at San Antonio at the airport since I believe May 16th. It's been a while. And ever since we had the big flood event here in town, a lot of soil moisture and temperatures have been at normal or below, and we're definitely at below average. That's an interesting thing as well. All right, we've got a KINS 5 weather impact alert day for today. Flooding is possible. It's going to be almost impossible to tell you exactly where that flooding potential, well, I can tell you where the potential is going to be, but exact pinpoint, that's going to be very difficult, but we'll step through it here in just a second. Also, it's one of those days you want to stay aware. You know where it floods in your area. You know those places that you just want to stay away from. If you have a heavy downpour, stay away from those areas because they will flood quick. It's only going to take about 1.5 inches to 2.5, maybe 3 inches, somewhere in there. You get that in a quick amount of time, and we're back to flood warnings and all kinds of problems. Okay, this is the way I see it coming together today. Lots of clouds this morning, a little sunshine, mostly cloudy still. But once you start seeing the peaks of sun, we're going to cloud probably right back over again, and thunderstorms will develop. And we've got a tropical air mass in place. We've got some lift in the atmosphere. And so all it's going to take is just a little bit of some sun, and we'll have some very heavy downpours once again. Really heavy rain producers are possible. Okay, so we've got a flash flood watch that is in effect until 7 o'clock. Does include Bexar County, includes Medina County, and also Guadalupe County and Comal counties. Yesterday, the bullseye and the heavy rain was over Guadalupe County and Comal County. Also up around Burnett and the northwestern portions of Travis County into the Georgetown area. Lots of rainfall there. And then the day before, the 4th of July, of course, we had all that the rainfall in Kerrville. Here's the good news. The only warning that we have is outside of our viewing area right now. There's no river flood warnings. There's no flood warnings. But Mason County, between Fredericksburg and Brady, we've got a flood warning there just outside of our viewing area. Okay, here's what's going on and what has been happening. Let's back up a little bit. I don't know why that happened. We've got a big ridge of high pressure out in Arizona and New Mexico. Big ridge of high pressure over to the east and the eastern portions of the country, and we're kind of trapped right in the middle. You can kind of see that motion. This is about 10,000 to 15,000 feet, somewhere around there. And you can see in East Texas, the air motion is from the south to the north. Just to our west, it's the opposite. And we're right in that trough. It's an inverted trough. But that is, with this kind of moisture that we have in place, it's just going to be a magnet for where showers and storms will once again develop. So from San Antonio, from where we're at here, south central Texas, right through the hill country and up towards Fort Worth, there's flood watch in effect because that's where the heaviest rain is going to be. Now, one thing is interesting, the 4th of July, we had a big MCV, big mesoscale convective vortex. Yesterday morning, we had a big MCV, and that was over Burnett County. Notice today, we really don't have that. Not really. Maybe up around, what is that, Granbury, Hood County, Johnson County, up there just south of Fort Worth, but I wouldn't really qualify it as that, kinda. But it's a long way away. But I think what happened overnight is the low-level jet wasn't as strong. This tropical moisture isn't quite as tropical, so that's a good sign. But a bad sign is we probably won't have as much cloud cover. There'll be some breaks, and I think it'll be a little warmer today, and that could be a bad sign. We could have some heavy downpours. We've got some pretty good rain right now going on. Northern portions of Bandera County. By the way, what time is it? 8:44 in the morning. By the way, very rare for me to be here on a Sunday morning. It's good to see you guys. Kerr County, we've got some pretty good rain. Gillespie County as well. Blanco County, we've got a little bit of some rain. Nothing real drastically heavy. And here in Bexar County, we don't have any showers right now. So that's definitely a good thing there. Okay, so let's go forward. We'll do some little forecasting here. All right, over the last 24 hours, there was up to 20 inches of rain up around Burnett County, northwestern portions of Travis County. That'll just show you how tropical this air mass was. And really quick, we picked up anywhere from 5 to 9 inches of rain from Comal County into portions of Guadalupe County. Now notice it wasn't the whole area, but man, when it came down and where it came down, it was really heavy. Even into portions of northern Bexar County yesterday, we had some heavy downpours. Let me see if I can get down here. Yeah, let's see if I can, we'll do this. Northern Bexar County picked up, yeah. There were some places in northern Bexar County, 2 to 3 inches easy. And the estimate in just north of New Braunfels, about 5, 6 inches of rain. And east of Seguin, I would say, it's kind of hard to take this exactly, but I would say 6 to 7 inches of rain just yesterday. So, you see these rain totals, and it's going to be real easy for us to get into a flooding situation once again. That's why I said stay aware today. We do have that flood watch. Okay, these computer models are all over the place. So I'm flying a little bit without instruments, but I think I can piece this together. So here's what is going on. Not a whole lot this morning, okay? But once we get into this afternoon, we're going to have some pockets. In my personal opinion, I think this is kind of skewed a little bit to the west. I think it may be closer to the eastern hill country, including Kerr County, Bexar County, I-35 corridor. That's what it kind of looks like to me, unless that trough that I was showing you earlier kind of backs up a little bit. But as we head through the afternoon with a little heating of the day, there will definitely be some heavy pockets of rain. And again, some places may not pick up much, but some areas could easily, with this kind of air mass that we have in place, easily pick up an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain, and that would put us into a flooding situation once again where you have those heavy downpours. So it's one of those days, just be aware of what is going on. Hill country, eastern hill country, right here into San Antonio. Let's see, let me show you the upper level map. I haven't updated it, so I don't really want to show it to you, but I will. Oh, by the way, let's do some comments really quick. Let's see. Hey, how you doing, Navarro? How's everything in Virginia? Up there in Virginia, that's one state I have not been to, but I would love to go. I hear it's just beautiful up there. I had a friend one time that was from Falls Church. Getting off the subject here. Hey, Dolores, good morning. Yes, you're anytime. It was my pleasure to be here this morning, even though it was my day off, but it was my pleasure. Stay safe. That's right, Pat. Stay safe to everybody. Do not chance it. You're exactly right. Those low water crossings, you don't want to cross those. And Joya, hey, how are you? And Lake Travis, you know what? I cannot look at those lake levels, but I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they were like, this will cause Canyon Lake to get to full. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm thinking more like a rise of like 25% or something like that. I am not a hydrologist. I'm a meteorologist, but that is a doggone good question, and I'm going to go and I'm going to take a look at that for you. Let's see. Hey, hello from Michigan. I had a friend one time when I was in school. I don't know why I'm talking about friends, but from Mesick, Michigan, a little town. I don't know if you know where that is, Christian, but I remember that. Okay, if these rainforests stop a few days, these babies can be. Yes, I know, Teresa. Thoughts and prayers. I started off the other one before I got interrupted by. First thing I said was thoughts and prayers out to everybody that's affected by these floods. It's truly amazing. And folks are wondering. They're like, how can this happen? I mean, here's the unfortunate thing. The Guadalupe River, it happens. I mean, that river, usually is nice, calm, beautiful, clear, great, but it can become a raging monster, and it's happened before, and it's going to happen again, unfortunately. But folks are wondering, how does this happen? Well, let's say you pick up 10 inches of rain and you put it in a relatively small area, like half a county, which is a pretty big area actually. And if everything's flat and you got 10 inches, well, you're kind of wading through 10 inches of rain, or 10 inches of water. But it's very hilly, and some of those hills are almost 2,000 feet, if not that. And so if you take that 10-inch plane, which is like this on a level, and you tilt it like this and go up, that water's not going to stay up because of gravity. Well, it's going to come down. That's how that 10 inches becomes 30-something feet of water, and that area is very susceptible to that. It was almost a record, I think, in Hunt. It was like one of the top 5 floods in Kerrville. Really bad. I mean, just absolutely horrible. Let's see if I can keep going through here. Ashley in Seguin, Texas. Ashley, it's going to be really hit and miss. Like I said, like I started off, I cannot tell you if Seguin is going to flood today, but what I can tell you, if it starts getting dark, starts getting breezy, and you have those heavy downpours, it will not take long to have a real problem there in Seguin once again. Yes, exactly, Maria. Prayers to all those folks out there. And Christine, good morning. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. And Sylvia, bonjour. I wish I knew more French than we. Parlez-vous français? I think it's speak French. Obviously you do, which would be just an inappropriate thing probably to say. Hey, well, tell everybody, Sylvia. And is that Sylvia Mireles? All right. Well, tell everybody in Belgium. They're going to be like, where? Tell them we said hi. And one day I'll get out to Belgium. I'd love to go out there. Joseph, okay. Joseph, I showed you a while ago, I don't know if you were on, but we're right in where the trough is. And it shows up very well on satellite imagery. We're right in that zone where that trough is. I think that trough will move out of the way a little bit tomorrow. Tomorrow, we still have a chance for rain, but I think that trough is going to move out of the way, and the tropical moisture will not be so great. And so we're slowly getting there. It's just today is going to be a problem because we have a lot of tropical moisture still in place. We've got this trough right overhead, and it's just going to be a magnet. We're going to see more rain developing. There's no doubt about that. Mimi, I do not know. And Angela, yeah, okay, and thank you, Angela. Angela says that Canyon Lake has risen about 5 feet. So if you take the entire amount, it's a pretty good increase. It's not going to fill it up, but it's a pretty good increase. And Jennifer says, good morning from Bernie. Yeah, that's right. You're exactly right about that. Turn around, don't drown. By the way, and I don't want to toot our own horn. It's just not my style. But our coverage was really good. And Sue was out at a place where the Bernie, the thing that's amazing is how everybody has pitched in from all these neighborhoods and all these cities, communities, pitched in to help. And we were out there, and the Bernie, I believe it was a Bernie Fire Department, I believe, because it said Bernie on the side. I cannot imagine these guys, these firefighters or first responders, getting into a monstrous raging river in a little small boat and helping people. That is just, you talk about courageous, and what a hero. When I saw that, I was like, wow, it takes some guts to go out there. Of course, you could hear the folks screaming and hollering, and I would like to think that if I was out there, I would probably do the same thing. But anyway, just amazing. All right, Josie says, traveling from Dallas to Hondo, hopefully the weather will improve. Going from Dallas to Hondo, there's going to be scattered rain. The whole way, just kind of scattered probably. Hey, Michael, good morning. That's right, exactly right, prayers. And tell everybody in shirts that we said hi. Let's see, what else we got here? Let's see, is it Jose? Jesse. Cut my grass today, all right. That's a lighter way to look at things today. By the way, the grass is growing. There's no doubt about that. Jennifer, wish we could get a break. A break is coming. But you got to wait another day or so. And yeah, Joseph, usually that high pressure ridge, see, here's the thing. It's very interesting how the weather works and the weather patterns. Here in South Central Texas, if we have no rain, we'll have a feedback effect, and it's more likely that we'll have one of those big highs of ridge of high pressure that just bakes us, and we have no chances for rain. It's just completely awful. If you pick up some heavy rain in May and heavy rain in June, it just kind of changes things for us. And instead of more like 30 inches, 40 inches, 50 inches, 60 inches, 70 inches, 80 inches, 90 inches, 100 inches, 200 inches, 300 inches, 400 inches, 500 inches, 600 inches, 700 inches, 800 inches, 900 inches, 1000 inches, 2000 inches, 3000 inches, 4000 inches, 5000 inches, 6000 inches, 7000 inches, 8000 inches, 9000 inches, 100,000 inches, 200,000 inches, 300,000 inches, 400,000 inches, 500,000 inches, 600,000 inches, 700,000 inches, 800,000 inches, 900,000 inches, 1000 inches, 2000 inches, 3000 inches, 4000 inches, 5000 inches, 6000 inches, 7000 inches, 8000 inches, 100,000 inches, 200,000 inches, 300,000 inches, 400,000 inches the desert Southwest, we become more like Florida with heavy rain and tropical moisture, and that pattern high has a hard time really building in. You know what? That sets me up for a great segue here of going into the next couple of days. Okay, I showed you earlier how we're right like a trough. The height of the east is not that strong. The height of the west is strong, and so we've got a trough right overhead. And let's see what happens for tomorrow. By the way, I'm using the European model. And tomorrow, we've got a chance for scattered rain. That high is not taking over. I would say tomorrow is more like a 30% chance. And Tuesday, the high is trying to, that desert Southwest high is trying to build in, but not Tuesday. We've got a 20% chance or 30%. And look at that, even into Wednesday. I'm going to tell you, last week when I looked at this, that high had no problem building in. But because we've picked up so much rain over this 4th of July weekend, I think that has just changed the whole pattern here. Where every day this week we will likely have a slight chance for rain with that high not being right overhead. This is probably not the right day to show this because it has nothing to do with flooding and everything, but I'll show you this as well. You're not going to notice a whole lot of dust today, even though dust is present from the Sahara. But I'm expecting a big slug of dust coming in the 10th and the 11th from the Sahara. If it's one of those days where we just have partly cloudy skies, you'll notice it. If it's cloudy, you won't notice it. But in this case, there's so much of it that if it's not raining on those days, the 10th and the 11th, it may affect the air quality a little bit, may reduce the visibility just a little bit as well. Okay, let's talk about the 14-day real quick. Again, we've got a flash flood watch that is in effect, and that is in effect till 7 o'clock. And then I think I'm going to, it's either 20 to 30% for Monday, 20 to 30% for Tuesday, and then we start tapering it off. I think I'm going to start introducing, my thinking from last week was as that dust comes in the 10th and the 11th, that would probably take out any kind of rain chances. It very well may be a 10% isolated showers for the 10th and 11th and the 12th, all the way through the 14th. And with this added rain, we may struggle to reach high temperatures 97, 98. I may have to take those down. More like to mid-90s, like 95, 94, close to where we should be for this time of the year. So the byproduct of a lot of rainfall is our temperatures are not as hot, they're more moderate, and our weather becomes a little bit more like Florida. And so that's the way it's looking for the next couple of weeks. All right, real quick, I gotta get going. All right, thanks for streaming with us. We really appreciate it. I know I do. And let me get back to that. Yeah, we've got a lot of viewers this morning, and it was my pleasure to be here on a Sunday morning. And make sure to download kens5.com if you haven't, or go to kens5.com. Go to Kens5 Plus. We're putting some great stuff on Kens5 Plus as well. And again, stay safe out there. Pay attention to the weather. If it starts raining heavy, we'll be back into some warnings. And enjoy your Sunday. Okay. And again, thoughts and prayers to all the folks out there in the Hill Country. And all right. Well, I appreciate it, and have a great day. We'll see you.